So Square Cash App, if you don't know it, you don't have it. It's got about 7 million users. It's basically mobile payments. So if I want to make a peer-to-peer payment, I can do that if we both have the app. It's an outgrowth of their merchant, that dongle that they used to have for Square. It's a Jack Dorsey company. And clearly, I think this is the future. This is where we're headed, right? Which is these little fintech firms basically want to turn and blossom into full-service financial firms. And the way I look at it is sort of like convergent evolution, right? So you have fintech firms who basically want to offer things like checking accounts, investments, savings, starting to sound like a bank, right?
Yeah.
You have banks who want to look like fintech firms and they want to offer digital everything. So they're coming at it from different angles, but they're going to end up at the same place.
And Hugh, I guess that's the key question as it relates to the big bank stocks. Is this threat coming a little bit too late? When we saw the threat to retailers from online, they weren't ready for it, and it's seen huge market share gains for the challengers. I guess the banks are already rolling out similar services that the likes of Square are now going to try and offer. So I guess the market share gains for the challengers are going to be much harder to come by compared to some other industries.
It's a tough nut to crack. And just for perspective, you had the CFO talking about Square. She's talking about 200 million in deposits with an M. So how much does JP Morgan have? How much does Wells have? How much together they must have 3.5, 4 trillion, right? So it's a rounding error. It's basically effectively meaningless for them today. I think the question is, and you hear investors ask about this: what happens in 5 years?
Yeah.
Does the threat start to metastasize over a longer time? And so basically, you have JP Morgan coming out with a Fin, which is like a mobile trading, a mobile payments banking app. They're inoculating themselves against the threat. And so I think they're going to be okay.
And does Square really just want to be the front end? I mean, they're the kind of consumer fintech interface. Do they want to have capital requirements? Do they want to do all the kind of mortgage paperwork that a bank does?
Do they want the headaches of being a super regulated entity? Well, I think they have a tiny little, it might be Utah or something. They have a tiny bank and institution that does that. So they are the front end. And by the way, the front end is the profitable end, the end with less headaches. And so you have speculation that Amazon wants to own the front end as well. Clearly, they're much scarier in that prospect.
Mike, I guess the other big question that, again, protects the big banks is if you're considering where you're going to put your hard-earned life savings, do you want it in a very regulated bank with a massive balance sheet with capital at record levels for a generation? Or do you want to put it with a fintech company? A fintech company might be a fabulous place to lower your cost of transactions, making payments, Venmoing between your friends. But the deposits, your savings, I think in people's mentality, there's still a long way to go before they attract big amounts of deposits.
For me, for people my age, yes. I think the big question is for younger people, if they're willing to trust the software.